A big thank you to Economic Times of India for inviting me to give this keynote address. It's a real honor, and I wish everyone attending this conference a very warm welcome from London. Good afternoon. This season's advertising campaign, So What? New season's catwalk show, So What? Luxury brand and luxury products, So What? A rich and colorful heritage, So What? The So What barometer is the harshest but the fairest test for any brand and can teach something to luxury and heritage brand in particular, the area I operate in. To apply the test properly, one has to hear the so what question in your head voiced by a 5-year old, a 20-year-old, a 40-year-old, and a 60-year-old. The baby boomers generation is older now. What will the alpha generation to come will be looking for from future brands? What would my future grandchildren be looking for? Why should future consumers engage with our brands? In my view, the response to the so what needs to spark curiosity, needs to be surprising, daring, truthful, and authentic. The so what factor is also the test for the balance sheet. It represents the intangible value, the ongoing ability to keep the past customer engaged, to reinvent, to find new audiences, and generate accelerated growth against a tide. I well remember my first meeting with one of the former shareholders of the East India Company. He approached me to help him to build a range of teas for his business. My heart started beating fast when I first heard that the East India Company still exists, and I could just not stop thinking about it. I realized that the shareholders then did not have an emotional connect with the brand. They could not recognize the power that was vested in these four letters. Hence, I decided to offer them to buy the shares which they own of the company. I knew that I'll take enormous risk in paying large sum of money to buy a small minority stake in the company, and that to a private limited company. But something inside of me told me that that was the right thing for me to do. Within next 18 months, slowly I bought the rest of the shareholders, and finally I became 100% shareholder of the East India Company. This was a decision I made straight from my heart, but slowly my mind started filtering that decision, and I realized how awesome was this opportunity. While I studied the brand, I studied the history, and I studied the impact, I realized there were three core strengths of this brand, and that became the basis of our strategy to define and carve the brand out of its history. The first was its geographical stretch. Everyone across the British Empire knew of East India Company. We say in English proverb that sun never sets in the British Empire. That is what the East India Company did. From Boston to Brisbane, from Bermuda to Bombay, the expanse and the reach of EIC was vast and deep. The sheer size of the landmass of its awareness extended beyond 2.3 billion people across the world. The next most interesting thing was its design stretch. From Elizabethan to Georgian to Victorian, and to add into this the chins from India, the chinoceres from China, the block prints from Africa, and the Arabist pattern from Middle East. All this vast bank of design became the basis of a possible inspiration. No other brand has such a stretch of authenticity. Most brands have a specific inspiration or a geographical location to build their collection from. For example, when you look at Versace, it's all being inspired from Medusa and Greek mythology. Versace could not build their collection inspired from Jaipur or Oxford. This design stretch, I realized, could allow the brand to remain ever evolving, vibrant, and relevant without losing its provenance. Finally, the most important product stretch is a core to this brand. EIC has traded in a variety of goods across the world over 3 centuries. Therefore, we effectively had the license to trade into many product categories without losing our lineage. From tea and spices to bone china and silverware, from home furniture and textiles to gold and silver, from jewelry and luggage to spirits and fragrances. The possibilities with a multi dimension of products, geographies, and design gave us a stretch of a large canvas to build a brand upon. This intangible landmass, the undeveloped land bank, was of enormous value, we soon realized. EIC is a unique brand. It was not built by an individual designer. It is built by a condensation of human spirit of the English speaking world. Furthermore, it's in a very unique and a desirable position. The East looks at East India Company as the regal West, and the West looks at East India Company as the exotic East. This is a perfect position for any luxury brand to be in today. We realized that the future was bright and was of enormous value. At the beginning of this journey, when I acquired EIC, I also realized that EIC brings its own baggage. It has its roots in a company that once ruled India and colonized our people. This left us with a sense of purpose to take the good forward and leave the bad behind. To evolve this iconic brand into 21st century with a pioneering spirit and passion, dealing in luxury goods in the same way as the early merchants of the company had, was just exhilarating. The irony, the East India Company, which once owned India, is now owned by Indians, has left us with a lot of pride. As I mentioned earlier, it was an emotional decision. And at the outset, the decision to purchase a company was of personal significance for me. I have left India, but India has not left me. 10 years have passed since we launched the business in London, and now the business has matured. As a part of our growth strategy, it is for us now time to enter India. We are looking to enter India with our food and our gold and silver business. We are looking for appropriate partners in India who share our vision and our purpose. Having heard all that, the next question that comes is, how did all of this come about? On 31st of December 1600, on New Year's Eve, Queen Elizabeth I granted a royal charter to a group of honorable merchants of London to trade exclusively on behalf of England in the east of Indies. It meant the east of Cape Town. Little did anyone at that time realize the impact this charter and this decision would have in the global commerce. The company's merchant did not set out to change the world. They just set sail with a very simple objective: to establish trade routes to discover and bring back new products, and to break down the barriers of the world. They were explorers, they were traders, they were innovators. This was their DNA. The East India Company brand and the business was built by curious merchants who prospered through their adventures. Those merchants did not set out in 1600 with a plan to create an empire or to build a brand, but that is what happened. In the process, they created new communities, established trading places, shaped countries. Singapore and Hong Kong owe their very existence to the East India Company, and India was shaped and influenced by the company. The very fabric of the world would not be what it is today without the East India Company. Without the company, the tables of the world would not have tea or gin and tonic. The reason cricket is a national sport today and why London is the capital of the world, it is the reason that Britain became Great Britain. At one point, the company conducted more than 50% of the world commerce and employed one third of the British population. It connected the world as no other company has connected the world before. It controlled the waters of the world. Wall Street Journal therefore called the East India Company as the Google of its times. The journeys at sea were long and ships were small. Risks were high to reach the other end of the earth. Therefore, with a merchant's mind and to maximize the return, the East India Company merchants traded in what was value intensive products and not volume intensive products. By default, they ended up trading in what we call luxury goods today: the gold and the silver, the jewelry, the diamonds and the color stones, the tea and the spices, the silk and the furniture. Product they chose were essential to their success. At one time, spices like pepper and nutmeg were more expensive than the gold, and tea was so expensive that it was always kept in silver caddies. But perhaps the most effective cultural tool was the spread of the English language. This was a two-way collaboration, as the language we use today was enriched with influences from various territories. Words like bungalow, jungle, muslin, posh, punch are few that comes to my mind. One of my personal favorite word is origins. One of my personal favorite word origins is comes from currency. The company was only commercial entity, given the right to mint its own currency, which it often used to trade from Cape Town to South China. The name of the currency of East India Company was cash, and the word cash came from Sanskrit word kasu. It was first minted in Madras Mint. The word soon replaced the word money in common parlance. Having said that, we really think that our real heritage is the pioneering spirit of the East India merchant. Today, it is an ethos that we have found we need to instill both in the individuals in our company and the company spirit at large. At the East India Company, we call this spirit the remarkable connection. The idea has several dimensions. It connects the world through different countries and diverse cultures. It develops different products in a unique fusion of materials and craft. And connections stretch across the time itself, in our case, through more than 400 years of history. When I started this speech, we started from so what? So what now? What is in offering today? We started our business by recruiting historians. We decided to publish books and express and explain the history of EIC and its impact across various products and services. This research gave us inspiration for each of the product categories that we were to unfold. We launched our fine food business by opening a flagship store in the heart of London in Mayfair. We opened the store on 15th of August, India's Independence Day in 2010, some 10 years back. That followed by launching our gold and silver coin business, precious metal business. We then launched silverware, home accessories, and tableware. Recently, we launched our spirits business by launch of London Gin, and now we are opening our tea parlors. Our business has been growing steadily, mainly from the digital channel. East India Company changed the tastes and habits of the world. Therefore, our products inspired from this history are appropriate for global taste and consumption. The digital channel has allowed us to quickly embrace and globalize our business. Our retail format is becoming more and more experiential, and retailing of products is merging with F&B to offer deeper experiences with our products. Now, my final question is, what's the future? What's next? What future customers and consumers are going to care about? I myself have been recalibrating my lens on the future of the company. With events of last year or so, the need of this has been moved from being incremental to being transformational. Our challenge and opportunity is that there are 4 centuries of complex history of the East India Company and insights to draw upon. The past alone is not going to ensure a share of attention or a share of today's consumer's wallet. Consumerism is shifting very fast. The definition of luxury is also moving very fast. From luxury being a concept of rarity and size, it is now a concept of artisan and satisfaction. From conspicuous consumption, we are moving towards buying goods for personal pleasure. Respect to nature and environment has become integral part of all the brand's needs. There was time when style and comfort did not go together. Now comfort is part of style. Luxury is now about adding life in your years and adding years in your life. Being a brand owner is an ongoing process of innovation, and you need to constantly reinvent your products, your expression, and the experience that you're planning to give to your consumers. I believe by replacing the word brand in our thinking by the word behavior, most answers will unfold itself. Ultimately, a brand is what a brand does. In my view, the East India Company brand needs to evolve from being a luxury brand to being a responsible brand. Therefore, the next stage in EIC's journey is to become more compassionate, both as a brand and as a business. I believe most brands across the world will be thinking similarly. For EIC, this is not a new beginning. We continue to learn both about those who came before us and the trends as we see in the world today. And this guides our action. We'll continue to discover, continue to pioneer, to bring new riches to the world, but in a different kind of way. This is a spirit of passionate pioneers, driven to make remarkable connections, find new partners, and embrace new opportunities. Always keeping our primary purpose in mind is to bring joy and surprise to our customers. It's now about 4:30 in India. It's tea time. I hope you may be enjoying a nice cup of afternoon tea over Zoom. In a way, it's another instance for the past connecting with the present. I wish everyone attending this Economic Times conference much success in building your own brands and businesses in this changing, emerging marketplace. Thank you, and goodbye from London.